chatted over the years and talked about all kinds of stuff, and I'm stoked that this is the year we really take our connection to the next level. And I thought it would be really important to have you guys on the program so that we can talk about what it is you're doing, what it is you've done, what it is you're doing, where people can find you, and just get to know you a little bit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
well, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, we're Dice Drop, whether people know about us or not. We, our normal stuff is Mutants and Masterminds, but our campaign is ending. That campaign is ending. So we are moving over to Fantasy Age or Dragon Age. We decided that we are going to take both and just sort of mix them because they are very easy to just like intertwine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as part of the adventure game engine, kind of, as designed, which is something that you really were keen to sort of explore. Why don't we do this? We'll start with Allie. Allie, give who are you and what do you do and why do you do it?
Oh, God. I'm Allie. I am what I have branded the game goddess of Dice Drop. It used to be Dice Drop Evolution, and we are switching over to Dice Drop Fallen for the next campaign. I am a pro GM in the space. Outside the space, I am a graphic designer who also does a lot of freelance work and a podcast editor. I do a lot.
Nice. Zoe, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I play Remy on Dice Drop Evolution. I brand myself as a dumb player. As a dumb player. But outside of the whole tabletop sphere, I'm actually a special education teacher. So that is what I do on the outside. But I also coined myself as a video gamer and as a bookworm extraordinaire. So
nice. Okay, multifaceted, nerd adjacent person. I think that's fantastic.
And Queen of the Bees.
And Queen of the Bees and a Dragon Age super fan.
Queen of the Bees.
Queen of the Bees.
Like, do they follow you around, or are they you have a hive, or?
Actually, my house is actually a pollination spot. So I grow wildflowers every year so that the bees can pollinate. And I always send them updates about the bees.
Nice. Okay. I like that. Kyle, a fellow Puget Soundian, tell me all about you.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I play Oswald on Dice Drop Evolution, and then I don't know, I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff about my next character, but I can tell you that their name is going to be Murphy with an I at the end. So
I like that.
I know, I really like that name, and I'm excited for it. But outside of this is like the main TTRPG thing I do. But on Fridays, I also do. There's another group that I'm with called Rainbows and Razor Blades, and I do a Friday stream with them. There I play, it's a cyberpunk game, and there I play a character named Conway Flabbit, but people call him Con, because I thought it would be hilarious to play an old prospector named Con Flabbit.
I was going to say, that sounds like an old prospector name, Con Flabbit.
It is,
right.
Yeah. And his best friend is named Doug Nabbit.
I support these names and their associated puns. Hey, real quick, I want to say hey to Rain. We've got the great Rafiki is here, who says, all hail the Queen of the Bees.
Oh, thanks.
Genuflect. I love that.
Thanks.
Duke, of course, saying hi, Allie, Zoe, and Kyle. All right, so that is who you are. A little bit about your characters and stuff. Let's talk about the first phase of Dice Drop, the Mutants and Masterminds phase. How long did you do that?
3 years?
Yeah, we're going on 3 years. It'll be 4 years we've been doing this in April of 2024. Yeah.
That is
4 years doing the podcast as a whole, but Dice Drop Mutants and Masterminds has been like our main focus, and it's been really fun.
It has been.
I've had a lot of fun doing this entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about the difficulty. Is there a challenge in kind of maintaining and sustaining something over that long a period of time? I mean, just given your personal calendars and schedules and COVID and all the stuff that kind of happened in between, we're talking, a lot can go on in between, the beginning and now. Tell me a bit about that.
I'm gonna let Kyle and Zoe take this on first because from the background point of view, it was a completely different
A
story.
completely different thing. I
Yeah.
mean, at first when we had Allie is our second DM. So when we switched to the schedule that we're currently at, it was a lot more sustainable. I've been enjoying it so much. I mean, we mostly do it on Sundays. We kind of like batch record in a sense where
Oh,
like,
smart.
yeah, where like we do it like in advance so that one, like Allie can have a chance to kind of a rest because she is the goddess in all aspects of she does the editing. She is the game goddess. She does a lot for us and we love and respect her oh so much. And that's why she is given the moniker, the game goddess.
I love it. I love it. Kyle, looking at when you started with a group and now, how do you feel like you have grown, even as a player or as a person, and also just your friendships in general? I mean, I have to imagine you have all become very close.
Well, the interesting thing is when we started this, and also my camera's glitching out, and I don't know how to stop it, so I apologize.
No worries. If we can
But,
hear you, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so when we first started, I only really knew Allie going into this. I've known Allie for like 13 years, and she was like, "Hey, I know a couple people that want to play like D&D or Mutants and Masterminds." So we did that, and then D&D was our first like get together, and then after a little bit, we decided to go to what was it? We decided to start a podcast. We started the podcast with D&D, but then decided to move it over to Mutants and Masterminds. So it's been a whole thing of like just getting to know each other. And I think at this point I've known Zoe for 3 years now, almost 4.
Yeah.
So we've just become very like constant people in each other's lives. So
Also,
I really like that. Yeah. Go ahead,
in
Zoe.
case people didn't know, Allie was the one who came up with the idea of us playing Mutants and Masterminds. So the whole concept is her. She takes 100% credit. And some people are like, oh man, like who came up with the idea? And we're always like, Allie. Allie did. Allie's the idea woman.
I love
she
that.
is the mastermind.
She
And
is
it's
the mastermind.
And it's why I wanted to start in the way that I did. So, Allie, as the person who sort of envisioned this from the outset, how has this project exceeded your expectations and or deviated from your plans? And tell us just kind of a bit about that.
Well, it started with a completely different GM, like it was said before. So, when it started with the GM, I just came up with the concept of I want to be in X-Men and I don't want to choose my powers. Like in that, because like what superhero gets to choose their powers? I like
Right.
when it comes to any sort of game, when it comes to choosing powers, I always want it to be random because nobody gets the choice. Who gets the choice in any of these comic books? Nobody got the choice. So we all made a random game, like rolling table. And we would roll like I think it was like 3 D100s. It was something like that.
Yeah.
It was 3 D100s.
Yeah.
And then we got those powers that whatever we landed on, which was great and fun. And then a year after we were recording, the old GM was just like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. And we were like, okay, what now? And then suddenly I just texted both Kyle and these two. I texted both Kyle and Zoe. I was just like, do you guys just want me to take over, but also still play my player character? Because I know that's like really conflicting. And they're just like, you do everything else anyways. You already edit the thing. You already brand the thing. Just take it over. And I said, okay, I have a control problem, so that's fine. So,
but it's a healthy control problem.
Thank
it is
you.
because we
I
also
don't
keep you in
believe it.
check too, So
I love
and
that.
we're going to be
yeah.
giving you a break, like not only taking a break from this campaign after or before the next, but also like I'm gonna be doing my own one
Yeah.
shot for a little bit, and then if Zoe has any plans for one, that Zoe can. So
Yeah.
we're doing like intermediary stuff.
So
Oh, I like that. Wait, so
Yeah.
you're saying in between these, so as a break between the two
Mhm.
eras, if you will,
Yeah.
you'll be running individual events together still, like on a Sunday, and you're kind of doing a one
Yeah.
shot with
Oh,
each other,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
Nice.
So
yeah.
we're gonna be recording it too. So like my idea is I haven't really solidified anything yet, but there's a podcast out there called Old Gods of Appalachia. It's a horror
Oh
anthology
yes, I
podcast.
just heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
It's one of my favorite podcasts of all time, and they just came out with the TTRPG based around their like entire idea. So I'm gonna be doing a TTRPG set in my own kind of world, but still Old Gods of Appalachia like rules. And yeah, I've been like slowly putting it together, and it's sort of a way to give Allie a break from DMing so she can just be the player character for once.
That's nice. And so you're
Yeah.
thinking
So-
about running a one too?
Maybe if they'll let me. I don't know. I mean, my Christmas
Pursue-
one shot I thought was really fun.
it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so fun.
That
No,
was
what
so
was-
fun.
What was the best part about that Christmas one shot was you were just like, Allie's the one with the brains. Allie's going to. The joke's on you. The only reason my character has the brains is because she's being run by the GM. Like,
I know.
as soon as the GM is taken out, it's just like chaos. Like, what?
Yeah, it was my first and only time DMing, and I did our Christmas episode this past year, and it was basically like a dice drop was taken into Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer kind of a deal, kind of a vibe.
Okay, I like
And-
it.
Yeah,
Like
the
the
old,
like
the
the,
old
anim-
claymation.
the- I was just gonna say, yeah, the stop motion. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
So
I
Allie,
think
go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Zoe.
I was
Please
gonna say
continue.
I think we just won't get over the fact of the lovely, majestic Yule voice that I had to do. I think that was the best part out of all of it.
So I'm compelled to ask another question, but I want to, Allie. So looking at sort of as you took over as GM and you benevolently led and edited and did all the things with people who had become sort of great friends of yours, and then you have this regular Sunday kind of get together. Talk to me about the evolution of that, and even just sort of when you
Yeah.
look at sort of the beginning, how people engaged with role play, and and how did the cast kind of grow in that regard, and do you have a real marker and you can kind of see where that kind of started, or
So there was another player actually that was with us for like the last 2 years. Unfortunately, something came up and he is no longer with the podcast, but he's still in like all the future episodes. Like I said, we bulk record. We don't have Try Guys budget, so we can't just
right?
erase it.
Yeah.
So it's so corny to say that, oh, we became a family, but I feel like that's truly what we became, was the family that honestly a lot of our characters portray. So if one of us is having a hard time, we know we're always there for one another, even though we're all in different states. Like, it doesn't matter. We find a way to help one another and
I
be
love
with
that,
one
and
another.
And it leads me to my other question, which is how in the heck did you all get to know each other? What was the unifying force that brought this
think-
constellation
Hi, Kyle.
together?
Hi,
It
Kyle, how
was
did we meet?
it was Allie, because
Yeah.
she was the one who knew the original DM James. James was the one who knew Zoe,
Mhm.
and we all came in, like I said before, for that original D&D game. And then when the pandemic started, we were like, hey, let's do something completely original and start a TTRPG podcast.
So honestly, Kyle and I knew each other, like he said, 13 years ago. I'm going into it because it's funny. We were high school sweethearts from my age 16, his age 16 to 18. Went into the freshman year of college, broke it off, wasn't working out anymore, and now we kind of like lost track of each other somewhere in community college area, became friends again. Now we're inseparable. But it's just how that happened. And then we figured out that I'm a lesbian and Kyle's pan. So that was
So
It's
there you
been
go.
it's been a
yeah.
wild ride trying to figure out like who we are, and I even think
Identity
Zoe
is
over the
fun.
last like 3 years has figured out some stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, I did. Oh, go ahead, Zoe. Were you going to add to that?
I was
or-
just saying, yeah.
yeah. You know, well, what's phenomenal about identity and as it grows and changes as you grow and change,
Mhm.
having people that know you as sort of like from your early phases of just discovering what's going on in the world to you know throughout life is a real treasure. I mean, that's a real fantastic opportunity at times. You know, folks who have been in the position of realizing who they are as they begin to grow, they oftentimes lose touch with the beginning of that sort of search. So yeah, I'm very very lucky, very awesome that you get together and do that Sunday thing. And you know, let's see, Brian Fleck says, "OMG, Allie is great at bringing people together." So I'm
Hi,
presuming that's it.
Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Well, the cool part too is like we even sort of let that go into our characters too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
like as we grew as a family, so did our characters, and even then, like our characters were figuring stuff out about themselves as we figured stuff out about ourselves. So
Yes,
in
yeah.
in a lot of ways, this podcast is like, I don't know if this is the right word, but it's like an analog for us as people.
Yeah.
So
It absolutely is the
Yeah.
right word, and you aren't what you are sharing a mutual sort of understanding of role play in general. I mean, there are many people who will talk about how their characters develop and grow. We do this a different program on the same YouTube channel. It's called The Drafting Table, and people come and talk about the evolution of their heroes that they've created in Mutants Masterminds. And every single time it gets me right in the heart. Like it's just this really amazing story of how they grow and change and utilize their evolution as a person through role play and heal a bunch of stuff. And it's kind of a safe place to kind of play around with some concepts that might be a little too heavy to sort of think about in other contexts. But yeah, you know, I see Zoe giving me the super nod.
Yeah.
We've definitely, I don't know, I think we told you this before the stream, but I don't know if we've said it yet on the stream. Our characters share a lot of the same traumas that we as people do.
That's right, yeah.
So the podcast is sort of our way of like not only like dealing with the traumas, but like helping each other move forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You wanna
been a
share
ride.
You want to
It's been a
share any
ride.
insight, Zoe, about that, or you
Um,
certainly don't have to? But
no, I can. I'm pretty much an open book. When we first started this, so very first episode that I played, my character's mom died in a very tragic way. And then lo and behold, a year later, my mom passes away in a very
Oh my
tragic
gosh.
way. And I'm like, wow. And I don't think I put two and two together until Allie's trying not to like, because I kind of joke about
she's
this
feeling
now.
some emotion up there. Yeah.
Like I kind of joke about it now where I'm just like, guys, do we think we actually tried to kill my mom in real life? And that was like a whole topic that we were doing on the side. And they're like, Zoe, you know that this isn't actually like real life. And I go, I know, but it's uncanny, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it kind of helps. I mean, because like dealing with that kind of stuff, because Remy's parents were not around a whole lot. And then the episode where Remy and Michael are having like their cute little talk about like their hopes and dreams and things like that. And the thing that Remy asked, and like, I don't know if you guys could tell in it, but like I choked up because I asked, do you think my mom would be proud of me? And that was kind of Zoe asking, do you think my mom would be proud of me? And it just it gets you in the feels a little bit sometimes.
Got me
Sometimes
right
it
in
gets
the
a little too
feels.
real.
Yeah. But you know, it is a wonderful, rare opportunity to work through trauma this way. Yeah, I'm looking at Brian Fleck's comment in chat. Says exploring trauma through TTRPGs can't relate.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, and
It's
what's great
definitely
about
not
it
an
is,
easy thing to do at all.
I was just gonna say that
No.
that TTRPGs, that experience also lends itself really well to stepping away from that for a minute, to move into a new, sort of knowing that you can broach those topics through the development of your characters if you wish. And what, honestly, what is really common, I feel, is people accidentally starting to work through stuff through the development of their characters.
I mean, I know that when it happened to me, like Kyle literally was here the week prior and he was like, do you want me to fly out again? Like, I will be there for you. And we've known each other for what, like a year and a half at that point. And that attests to like how an amazing a friend Kyle is. But I also like knew I needed this. And I was like, no, just give me like a week or two off. I will be fine. I need this time with you guys because this is going to get me to move past it. And so it really did help. Like, I don't want to use this as an equivalent of therapy, but it kind of was at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, this is in no way saying need some therapy, play TTRPGs. But if you need some therapy, play some TTRPGs with some good friends and, you'll be ended up working through some stuff. Allie, how do you feel about seeing how emotionally impactful in a good, positive way this project is on folks?
So, one, I'm going to say it's making it sound like our podcast is so sad. I promise you, it's the stupidest, most chaotic thing you will ever listen to. But no, we do go into some deep. Kyle, you're half the reason why it's stupid and chaotic. Shut up.
Listen, just because one of my characters came up with a stupid edible but not edible product that I'm not sure if I can say it on the stream.
No, you're not allowed to
Probably
say it.
Not.
If you want, in private chat, because I'm dying to know what it is.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, but
private chat, not the public chat.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to put it in the YouTube chat. Don't worry. If anybody on YouTube wants to like know what it is, just it's in the podcast.
Yeah, I'm also on Twitter.
I like that. I like that.
I think we posted about it on Twitter a couple of times.
Yeah, you'll be able to check. We've got links in our show notes and stuff, so check that out. But Allie, sorry, just to kind of continue with
we all have ADHD. It's fun.
Yeah. We'll bounce around. This is all beautiful. Oh, well.
Yeah, you saw.
Maybe not. It's not that. It's just, it's more of I would say it's more of an after 9 p.m. kind of product to discuss.
The thing is, our main characters didn't even come up with it. It was the side characters.
Yeah, it was the side characters that did.
So I gave them, I'm going to make it clear. I gave them like 2 other different side characters than the main characters that they're playing because we had like side arcs going on. So they had an evil arc where they got to play 2 like evil people. Kyle's character from that still being alive, Zoe's died, and we had to stop recording for 30 minutes crying that this man died that she was playing for maybe a month. And
it was such a sudden and like I think Allie had like rolled a dice beforehand too to see which of the characters would die.
It was our friend Matthew. Matthew.
Okay.
I didn't even roll it.
But it was a bet.
And then I gave them other characters to do another side campaign with because we had a whole it's a huge compound of superheroes. So it's like I'm missing an opportunity if I don't let them play more than what they are.
So, let them step out of their character that they yeah.
So I let them have characters with parents, and that was a bad choice. And because they ended up more chaotic than they were without parents.
The way you worded that.
Yeah, I know.
It's not my fault.
I love this.
And it's like we all have like, characters traits that we'll stick to. Like my characters across any TTRPG that I'm playing, they're idiots. They're just complete and total idiots. So,
Kyle, why do you think you gravitate towards that kind of a character?
I don't know. I think it's like I don't say idiot as in like they're
Pejorative,
academically
right.
stupid, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're just unobservant or any other kind of
All of them have
word
surfer
for-
dude vibes, even though they're not.
Yeah,
dudes.
I think that's because I have surfer dude vibes, so that's hard. That's hard for me to get away from. But no, it's my characters usually end up being like comic relief that can provide like tough moments if need be. Like there was one point in our podcast where Zoe's character was having a particularly rough moment, and my character, I think we were back in the warehouse at that time towards the beginning.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right. And my character, normally he's just this, like aloof idiot that doesn't really pay attention to anything and is like, oh yeah, cool, I can do this now, I'm gonna go do this. But my character saw Zoe's character like go up to the roof and was like, I can't let that slide. So he went up and like we had this, I think it was like 15 or 20-minute conversation just of my character helping Zoe's character.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Allie, I think it was when Peter is our big bad in Evolution. He was offering like, hand over your friend and I'll bring your mom back. I think that's what it was. And she was like, I don't know what to do. And she was struggling with her powers and all this other kind of stuff. So I think that's what it was. If you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah.
But deep
No,
moments,
I think that was right.
Yeah, and Zoe, when you're looking at the kind of characters you create, do you have the same kind of experience as Kyle? That do you have sort of a thread that lines them, kind of unites them, or are they all just wildly different?
I mean, in the my first ever D&D game that I've ever played, which I ended up using the same character in the game that I was joined in with Kyle and Allie. It was like the first one, and it was like the basic thing of like, I want to be an elf druid because I want to turn into an elephant. And then it was when we started playing here, I was like, I put a little bit of myself into it. Essentially, and then when I played Hansi, it was chaotic, evil, but cute. And then when I played Adrena, it was chaotic, good, but goth. And then the new character that I'm playing is like badass barbarian Barbie. So it's like, I don't think there's a common thread at all. I think I'm just trying to play a facet of characters because I enjoy the experience, but I think a little bit of myself is in each and every single one of them in a way.
Sure, naturally.
Yeah.
It seems like chaos might be a
yeah,
uniting thread.
I think unhinged is more of the correct word.
Allie, how about you? So in playing kind of double, triple, quadruple duty of sort of being the GM and then also having a character and then also managing all the NPC and the relationships and the big bad and all this stuff. Where do you kind of fall on that the kind of character you work with or play with?
So before I was the game goddess, before I like
ascended,
yeah, that's what they say. I just go thank you. I still am. I played River, who is very rough around the edges, very, in D&D terms, roguelite, stole things, was really scrappy, had her first power was the stretching power, and I like dark chaos characters, but actually that have like a happy sunshine side inside them.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like my main go-to with all of the characters that I have been playing, not when like NPCs, but like whenever I'm asked to like go on streams and stuff, I try to do different avenues. Currently my favorite one that I've done like outside any other avenue was I think a dude named Dex, and he was just giving off skater dude vibes, and he was fun. He just wanted to eat and talk to girls, and he was not good at talking to girls. So, but I think chaos and unhinged is very, very normal for me when it comes to character making. if anyone like hates astrology in the chat, I'm sorry, but my main thing is I'm a Leo, so I'm going to be the center of attention.
Sure, right.
So yeah, I will do that.
I'm looking at. Go
Oh
ahead,
yeah,
sorry.
my lollipop chainsaw-esque cheerleader. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I was on one of Brian's games before, so
I love that. And then Rain said Elphafant. What's Elphafant? I'm wondering,
Elephant.
because I love the word.
Elephant.
But
because I'm an elf and I wanted to be I wanted to transform into an elephant, so an elphafant.
An elf ant.
Yeah, I get it
I like
now.
that.
That's a cute pun.
That is really cute. Yeah. Well, leave it to chat. They're always coming up with this stuff. Okay, so listen. Now we've talked about the M&M era, and now we're going to switch gears and talk about the adventure game engine era.
Yay!
So you are working on. Where are you at in the process right now? I mean, I kind of know, but let's tell the world where you are at.
Oh.
Zoe spent 7 hours.
I actually spent an additional 2 hours after Allie left, so I spent 10 hours learning this game engine.
The goal was to like get on a Discord chat for like an hour to try to figure out the systems, help each other with like understanding whatever it was we needed help understanding about the age systems. And I was only able to be on there for like maybe 2 hours max, but these two were on there for close to 8 hours trying to like figure everything out.
I got a text in the evening asking some questions, but I love that. And so, what was it that was? It doesn't feel to me like it was consternation or frustration or trying to. It seems to me like you were really exploring some opportunities and some. Tell me about that. Let's go hour by hour, minute by minute. This program will be 5 hours long. We will get to the bottom of this.
You exactly what we did, and I will pinpoint and draw a map.
Please do.
If only we recorded that chat and then we could just play the 7-hour audio clip.
I wish. It would be a lot of me being stupid and yelling from my downstairs.
And then it would be a lot of me saying, Zoe, I need to get off. My brain feels like scrambled eggs.
And then,
me popping in like, all right, guys, what I miss? Wait, I have to go. I'm sorry.
So, I've started the world building for it because though I know like all TTRPG games go like, here's a world for you. I go, I don't want that world. Go away. And so like, thank you so much, writers, for writing that world. Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah, we're only going to borrow a couple things from it, and then
we're going to borrow the system. Thank you so much.
Well, and frankly, that's what the age system lends itself exactly to that kind of need or that kind of desire or drive, really. Rain's got a podcast. I wonder what it could be. I don't know if you can drop links over on YouTube because we don't trust people. But we should actually set you up so you can drop links.
Same.
You are a good friend. Yeah.
I am curious to see what Rain comes up with.
So
I think I'm gonna actually you continue. I'm gonna jump over to YouTube and change some permissions for somebody.
I was gonna say give them permissions.
Yeah.
So I started the world building. What the reason we're calling it Dice Drop Fallen is because these two started out as level 20 gods, literal gods. They are in what I call the citadel, which is where all the gods live and where they prosper and where they help rule the world of Zenall. Zenall has 13 countries. It's something stupid because I can't do something tiny. I have to do big scale and go down. And then, so like once they fall, they are going to go into the country of Asterdale, which is going to be more urban fantasy because I like putting these guys in corrupt cities.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, makes sense.
So it gives them a chance to, again, make two characters because have fun. And sort of build up that, like, their characters that they're basically going to become. when they fall, they aren't going to be gods anymore. They actually have been like descended from the citadel. Like, you are no longer doing your responsibilities. You are not doing what you're supposed to be. You are descended, and then they're going to drop to level 4 in what would be Fantasy Age or Dragon Age. I know Zoe went for more Dragon Age sort of build, and Kyle, I keep messing this up. Kyle went to more Fantasy Age. I did a character also, because you can't just have like 2 characters be chaotic. You have to have a third, which is sort of a nice little mix between both of the Dragon Age and Fantasy Age. So a way to do that was I made her a city elf, but also she's a halfling, meaning she is a wild folk. So she has both of those going on, which was very fun to build. That's why we spent 7 hours.
Yeah, and then I broke the news that city elves kind of have the roughest backstory in Dragon Age, and that made Allie sad.
And I was just like, you know what? This is my world. I made it. So
yeah.
So Zoe, you are a fan of Dragon Age.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
So this is gonna sound unholy, but
I'm bracing for impact. Go on.
So when I first got introduced to Dragon Age, I think I was in high school, and Dragon Age Inquisition just came out.
Yeah.
And I played through that. Like, I got it for Christmas because I was begging for it. I was like, please, can I have this for Christmas? Because I think it came out in like 2012 and it was 2014. And I was like, please, please, please. And so my mom was finally like, okay, yeah, you can have it. That game, I spent my entire Christmas break on. And then I was like, wow, I wonder why aren't there other games? This is amazing. And then I found out it's the 3rd game in the series. So then I went back and I replayed Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, and then I replayed Dragon Age Inquisition again, and then I watched the Cassandra animated
Pentagast,
movie.
yeah.
Cassandra Pentagast. I've seen the new anime. Oh my god, it was so good. I was yelling at all my friends that they needed to watch it. And then every single time I like talk with Kyle about it, I'm like, Kyle, you gotta play Dragon Age. And he's like, no.
No, he's like, I'm shooting dinosaurs.
For the record, I have been playing Final Fantasy 16 like a lot, and that game, I love the Final Fantasy series. So
yeah,
that's
me too. Yeah,
one of my. It's so good.
It's
but
good.
the game that I've been playing right now is Exoprimal, which is literally I you get into a mech suit and you shoot hordes of dinosaurs. That's it.
It sounds very therapeutic. It sounds very cathartic. Yeah,
it is, especially when you have a T-Rex charging at you, and it takes an entire group of 5 people to get it down. But
So I do have a question for Zoe, very specifically, and this is an important one. Feel free to. You don't have to share if you want to keep your Dragon Age relationships, romance under wraps. But when we're talking about relationship, when we're talking about romance, who was your go-to romantic encounter in the Dragon Age Inquisition?
Okay, so in Inquisition, okay, listen. This is going to tell you all of my tastes, and this is not a red flag. I promise. It is not a red flag. I fell in love with Orlando Bloom's Legolas, and I just fell in love with elf men. So, in Inquisition, my first romance, of course, was going to be the broody elf man that you first meet when you first come into Inquisition. So then and then when Trespasser comes on, I don't want to spoil it or anything. And then if you are the romancer, if you are the Slavellan in Trespasser, it just makes it even more heartbreaking. Yeah, I see the oh no. Yeah, sorry. Soulless Mancer for life. But in Dragon Age Origins, I am a hardcore Alistair stan. That man will forever have my heart. And then in Dragon Age 2, it has always been Fenris. I don't know why.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's
The
fair.
amount of oh no's that are in the chat.
I know. I'm sorry, but I will say when I've replayed Inquisition, I've gone for Cullen. I've gone for I attempted Blackwall at one point, but I never finished that one through because it was too weird. And then I recently found out that you can have Iron Bull and Dorian be together. So I was like, I gotta have that happen. So that's my newest conquest.
Ray shares your feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, of just I'm gonna play Matchmaker next time I replay that game series.
Fun,
I played
very
The
fun.
Sims.
I also play The Sims. Thank you, girl.
Now, Allie, were you the kind of player in The Sims that would sort of like lock the bathroom door or keep them in the shower or put them in the pool in the back? Or you were, weren't you?
As of right now, that one was.
Yes. Yes.
I am very much I'm going to make a legacy challenge and then I'm going to forget about this legacy challenge and I'm going to make a new legacy challenge. I just deleted a bunch of saves because it just wasn't happening. But I'm the type of person that will just scream at my computer for them not taking care of their infants. And that's just the type of Sims player I am. Because it'll be a little thing that'll be like, your kid's going to get taken away. And I'm just like, feed your child.
What's wrong with you? Yes, I love that. All right, Kyle, how about you? So you in talking about sort of where you sit in the fantasy age, Sims, sort of, you talked a little bit about some of the video games that you play, but are you just looking at these two ladies going, what in the world? Or are you
not necessarily.
Okay,
not necessarily, because I have been basically mainlining Baldur's Gate 3.
Sure.
So that has been
enough.
my latest obsession aside from Exoprimal and Final Fantasy. But no,
Right.
The games that I play are way different because like my main game is Destiny 2.
Oh,
So-
okay, sure. All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you an
so-
MMORPG player by nature, or are you a persistent world kind of guy?
It takes a lot for me to get into an MMO, but
Yeah.
once I get into one, like I'm stuck there. Like I played RuneScape for years before I got bored.
Yeah. What's on your
And I'm
MMORPG list? Like, what have you played?
So far, I have played a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. I like that
Sure.
one, but I'm still working up the ability to pay for it monthly because you only get like a certain amount for free.
Yeah. Right.
I think you can count Destiny as an MMO because they're kind of turning it.
But it's different. But I do. Yeah.
They're the way they've been moving it is the way they've been updating it in the recent years has been closer to MMORPG style. So yeah, those are my main two. I'm pretty much just getting into like newer games because I was very stuck on like one or two games. So
sure. Yeah. And that's not unusual. Yeah. That is understandable as well. And also MMORPGs can kind of eat up a lot of your life. As a former MMORPG developer, I get it. Yeah, for 100%.
I think right now, because there's like a third-party website that lets you see how many hours you have in Destiny 2. And that game's been out for about 7 years, coming up on 8, I think. And over the course of that time, I have probably about 5,000 or 6,000 hours in that game.
Yeah,
Wow.
That is a commitment. One of the things that I'm learning from all three of you is that your commitment is strong. When you commit to a project or an idea or a thing, you're in it. I'm just
you're in it to win it.
It's so nice for you to call it commitment. I call it ADHD hyperfixation.
Sure. Yeah, hyperfocus.
This hyperfixation just lasted longer than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
and good for you to parlay that hyperfixation into something that is meaningful and offers growth and expansion and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, no judge here. 100%, I get it. And just for the record, Iron Bull for me. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes. The scene where everyone walks in.
So moving
Shout out to
on.
Nate for Farmville.
Yeah, real quick, Rain, yes, commit to the bit every single time. Nate, I
Absolutely.
played so much Farmville until
I
Allie
deleted-
deleted my
I
Farmville.
deleted-
I had to actually
She erased
delete my
everything.
Farmville because I was playing too much.
Yeah,
I had this beautiful tree farm, and then Allie was like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if?" And I'm like, "No, it wouldn't." But you know,
well, we're all young. We make mistakes. Allie, it looks to me like Allie may not make that same choice today, or maybe she would. I mean, Farmville is
it depends on if she what side of the bed she wakes up on. Anyway, I won't derail this anymore. Sorry.
No. This is all right on track. We are right on track, friends. No worries. So talk to me now. So now that you're incorporating aspects of the adventure game engine, you are looking at Dragon Age because you have to, and your Fantasy Age elements and stuff. How are you in a position? Because I know that you've got some time yet. We're not. How long before this new era is unveiled?
I'm projecting between February and March of next year. That's how far the gap is. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if we dropped it on our 4-year anniversary?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just saying.
And that's and that time will pass so fast. I mean, you'll get there. You'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
And so right now, how much content do you have in the can? Because you're done with the production of it, and it's kind of now it's serialized and waiting to be released, or is there more to be done?
So we actually have a recording session on Sunday.
Hey, nice.
We have 3 episodes left that we have to record, and every time we talk about it, we get a little bit choked up because we've been with these characters for 3 years.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh no, it's ending, and we're ending it right at episode 100. So that's like really like hitting us in the feels. We just published last week episode 90, and once that's published, that was officially, we have 10 more episodes left to publish. But yeah, we have 3 more episodes left to record, which really means we have 2 more episodes left, because out of those 3, one's an epilogue.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. Okay. And so now, looking at the adventure game engine system and all of that stuff, do you have a lot of? I'm interested in exploring a bit of how you intend to go about plotting and scheming and planning. And is there a methodology, or is it really just this sort of known chaos that the 3 of you chaos agents sort of get together and bounce off each other like free radicals, and at the other end of it comes a wonderful story with bonding and great emotional depth and that kind of stuff?
I make as many notes as I can to keep us on plot. Whether or not it stays on that plot, that's on them. I have a big bad already in mind for this next upcoming one. I have not told any of them yet, because that would ruin the surprise.
Oh, I like it. And then I'm presuming, Kyle and Zoe, that when you hear that kind of stuff, or you are excited about sort of what Allie's got sort of hiding behind in the set. When you look at Allie's storytelling, what are your favorite aspects of the way she kind of brings a world to life?
Do we have an extra hour?
I wish.
I mean, I want to say that my favorite aspect of what Allie's game style kind of is that I mean, I love it when this happens anyway. She follows in the rule of cool, that if she thinks that what your character is going to do in the heat of battle, if it's cool, she's like, roll for it. Let's see if this works. Yeah. For instance, like, I'm not going to like spoil it, but in the last episode we recorded, I did a giant thing that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it or not. And she was like, let's do it. Like, yes.
I love that.
But also I think that she allows like character interaction a lot, because there are certain times where like it feels like there's a lot of like I feel like we're more exposition based now, whereas before we were really like combat.
Yeah.
And now like our characters have had the chance to evolve compared to what we were at the beginning. And Allie, if we didn't have Allie, that wouldn't have happened. And that's why I love Allie, because you can really see how much our characters evolved. And when we get like the interactions from like fans, they're like, oh my God, Oswald's my favorite character because he's done like at the beginning he was this and now he's doing this, and he's like still says that he's the dumb one, but he's actually doing really smart moves. And then there's like characters like River, where it's like River's just like, hey, what's up, guys? And and it just makes you kind of feel good. And then I always joke how like my character is not as powerful as everybody else's, but the last episode kind of proved me wrong, unfortunately.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Every good hero story. How about you, Kyle?
Yeah.
When you look at Allie's sort of storytelling and the way that she approaches that, and then, you know, and maybe with some foresight into kind of what you think you have to look forward to with this new age.
I think Zoe hit on a lot of the subjects that I was going to talk about, but the one thing that I want to say is that Allie is really good at go with the flow. So, like, if a role doesn't go a certain way, or, you know, if role playing goes a completely different way than what any of us had expected, like, I'll use that moment on the rooftop with Remy and Oswald. Like, Oswald could have easily gone up there and just been the comic relief, or like said some stupid stuff and like left. But it's stuff like that where Allie will let roleplay go for as long as it needs to help the story progress and help the characters sort of evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just really good at facilitating roleplay. So,
oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So, Allie, when you're looking at what you have to work with by way of sort of character development and the adventure game engine tools that you'll be kind of mixing and matching and sort of taking what works and augmenting, you know, as you move forward, what are you looking forward to the most, especially, you know, in reference to these two characters who would be working with?
So the ones that we have been working on, I've gotten somewhat of an idea of where both of these two want to go when it comes to what their character concepts are. I do think as it progresses, even within the first arc of the campaign, a lot's going to change with how I hate saying that, like, oh, I like doing trauma-based stuff, but like trauma-based storytelling, I feel does the most, not only for characters, but like it like adds to the story of why are they acting the way they are acting.
Sure.
And Zoe already with her character has already kind of commented on like something. I was just like, oh, so it's like this trauma that you're going through right now, and she went. I was just like, okay, cool. We can roll with that. That's fine. I just wanted you to be clear that that was what we were doing right now. And she was like, yeah. And I said, okay, cool. I like letting them tell me, hey, I would like to do this or this. And if we can add this, it's cool, but it's not necessarily. I am a big fan of not saying no. I don't like saying no, because like that's like saying no to somebody's creativity when I think it's a little bit overpowered for them to be doing now. I say, well, we can look into it later, which normally we do. These guys were asking me for the longest time, Allie, I know we have 3 powers and we're already really overpowered. This is for Mutants Masterminds, but can we have another power? And I kept saying, no, you don't need another power. And now it's our last arc, and I pulled everyone aside and I was just like, okay, so what's this 4th power gonna be? And they're like, what? So, and I told them, I was just like, you can pick this power. Actually, no, I picked the power. I said, you can unveil it at any time you want, that is going to be your story mark. That is your secret. I'm not going to be the one that says you do this. You will do that part in the story to say I do this. And
Oh,
they
I
were
love that.
they were
It was
real
good.
I love that
Yeah,
because
that's
it is a very, it's a difficult balance to be the GM who is going with the flow, but also keeping that flow in the channel, which is the story arc that you're trying to tell. And Allie, in the time that we've gotten to talk, I am really impressed with your tenacity and your ability to just go with the flow, to kind of allow people to give them it's I think we say go with the flow, but I worry that gives a different kind of impression. You really give people the space that they need to be themselves. And if that's go with the flow, then sure. But that I feel like it's a deeper, more important distinction than just sort of whatever happens, happens. It's really more so whatever people, who they are and what they're bringing, they have space to do that. And that's an important skill that not a lot of people could claim to have, that you wouldn't see a lot of LinkedIn profiles with that skill listed.
I just because the thing is, and this is with any tabletop gaming, it's not a me story. If it was a me story, I'd be writing a novel. It's an us story.
Right.
So it's collaborative storytelling. So yes, I can write down the plot, but who am I to tell these guys, oh, this is how your character should act? Because honestly, if you're doing that as a game master, gonna be honest here, you probably shouldn't be a game master. You should be writing your book.
Right. You know what else makes this work really well is when you have a mutual care and respect for each other. I think that really it changes the way that you interact and offers opportunities for you to give a little, take a little, and still, sort of, again, grow and change and evolve. Listen, you three, what a friggin' delight it has been to talk to you. This is, the love and the passion that you have for TTRPGs, for each other, and just for telling a good story. I'm just, I am beyond delighted, and I am so looking forward to seeing where you go. Will you do me a favor? Can we have you back again to kind of talk about your process and your progress?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always have us back.
Gosh, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I know that folks who are watching on demand would love that as well. Hey, friends, if you're hanging out and you're like, gosh, what a great story that was. Well, it's because it really was. And so what you should do is make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you've hit that bell, that you get a notification when we go live. We've got multiple programs waiting in the wings here at the Green Ronin Broadcast Center. But if there are stars, give them to us. If you've got thumbs up, we want them all. Whatever you've got, we'll take them all at max capacity. Share it with a friend. And if you've got a question for these folks or a question for us about general adventure game engine stuff, post on the YouTube underneath on this video on YouTube or wherever you're watching it, and we will do our level best to either pretend like we know and lie, or actually find you a real answer. That's something we can do as well. The truth is out there. But right now, so we started a little late at like 2:01, and now it's 3:01, and I think we've done the full hour with multiple hours. We could go on, and I believe me, I can hear it in your voices and the passion, and I just can't get sucked in right now. I've got too much to do today.
One of the things that we make a joke about on our podcast all the time is that we could be a talk show if we wanted to, because the amount of times
absolutely.
like before recording, during recording, or even after recording that we just sit there and just talk. Like, it's not even about the podcast. So.
And there's something really nice just to hear people who enjoy each other's company having a great dialogue. I mean, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is something that I enjoy, and it's something that I've enjoyed this entire hour that we've been chatting, and looking forward to having you back. So we'll keep in touch. We'll talk about some stuff. I know that Allie and you and I have a regular meeting. Everyone, the two of you are welcome to join as well. But we have to have you back on ThursdAGE just to check on your progress. And maybe next time when we sit down, we can get a little more crunchy about adventure game engine mechanics and kind of how that's influencing the way you're developing characters and stories and all that stuff. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Phenomenal. All right, friends. Hey, again, thank you. My love to chat. Thank you so much for joining in and being so polite and kind to our guests. We are, no longer guests. This is home. So, we're glad to have had you, and we'll talk to you again real soon. All right.
Okay.
All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.